Entrepreneurship is critical to Africa's socio-economic transformation. More than any other era on the continent, many young people are boldly stepping into the entrepreneurial arena and are making giant strides in it. On today's episode, we engage with a 20-year-old 400 level medical student whose passion for craft making led her to entrepreneurial success in the footwear business. Welcome, the brain behind the Goody Footwear brand, young, intelligent, creative, and amiable Goodness Adeosun, CEO, Goody Footwears. Congratulations. In case you're wondering what was happening there, we're clicking glasses to our success as an entrepreneur. Welcome, medical student entrepreneur, Goodness Adeosun. Welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
We'd like you to share with us what your entrepreneurial journey is like. How did it begin for you?
Actually, so says that the entrepreneurial journey has been so stressful, especially as combined together with medical school.
You're going to have to play down on your medical terms there because some of us dropped out of school actually.
Exactly.
So you need to help us.
Okay.
How did it begin for you?
Actually, if I was to say when I was growing up, I never thought of being an entrepreneur.
Really?
My mom is Igbo, though she's kind of a little bit involved with some business, but still, it never motivated me to go into entrepreneurship. But
And she's a professional?
Yeah, a nurse.
And your dad?
He's a doctor.
Your dad a medical doctor, your mom a nurse?
Yeah.
So where did you get this entrepreneurial spirit from?
I really don't know. Honestly speaking, as I told you, when I was growing up, I never thought of that. It never motivated me like that. But what happened was that was in 2017. My cousins abroad were coming over to Nigeria to visit us. And as usual, Nigerians, there are some things we may not see here, which they have over there. I gave them the list of things I needed there, which was phones and some other things.
Yeah.
So they said they were going to get for me, and I thought about it. It wasn't just good enough that they come, they don't get anything back in return. So I thought that, okay, what do I buy for them? Something. But I thought about it again that buying something here in Nigeria, there's much better things over there for them. So I ruled that away from my mind. So I was someone involved with creative activities, handmade stuffs and handcraft stuff.
Handcrafts?
Yeah. Like
Before then?
Yeah. So I thought about, okay, maybe I should make something with my hand. They'll fully appreciate it well. And ideas came up like, let's make a shoe, sandals, or let me make a clothing for them and all that. So I wanted to make a cloth for them, but I remember there are a lot of crocheted clothes around on the internet, and they will have more than that, a better one. So I thought about shoes or sandals. I went online, checked for pictures of crocheted sandals, knitted sandals. I couldn't find any reasonable one apart from the general one of, just normal slippers, indoor slippers and all that. So I instead went online again to check for more designs, which is outside crocheting, probably just making use of leather and all that. So I checked online to see some designs, if possible for me to imitate it and make out of that. And I saw a particular one, which was a gladiator's zipper sandals, which I tried making. So I went to the market to look for which thread I could use to crochet and all that. There's this popular yarn thread, 4-ply thread we always use for sweaters and all that. I didn't want to use it because I wanted to become, at least, let me be unique a little bit. And I thought that the durability of that thread kind of is not very good for slippers or any shoe that have to do with that, especially in these Nigerian routes. So I went further to check for this particular thread I noticed shoemakers normally use.
Wow.
So I thought that would probably be a very good idea since they use it to sew shoes and all that. So for them to have the trust for that thread, probably it would be very good to make a slippers.
It'll be reliable and durable.
Exactly. So I went for that. I went to the market, checked for it. I bought it and I started with it.
And did you get it right the first time?
At all.
How many trials?
With one thread. At first, I bought the thread. It's very,
you bought
very
a yarn or
thin.
thread?
Yeah, I just got it, just the roll. I used one thread to make, and I noticed that, I spent close to like a whole day trying to just knit something of a length like this. It was very tiny.
Cool.
So I instead doubled the thread to try doing something like that. I doubled the thread. Okay, it was looking reasonable. So I did it, trying to imitate what I saw on the net. I tried again. I wasn't
on
manipulated.
YouTube or
on
picture
a
online?
picture.
All right.
I tried again. Sometimes I'll use paper cut and arrange to see, okay, am I getting it? No. So
so you fumbled and wumbled your way
exactly
to perfection.
To perfection.
And that for me is a motivational story that you just gave us. And your persistence paid off eventually.
Yeah.
But what this team found intriguing, fascinating, and attractive is the fact that crochet sandals, gladiator sandals, are not common. And we try to feature on this program businesses that are innovative. And that's where the innovation comes in now. You're making a gladiator sandal with a difference. And perhaps that's why you've recorded the commercial success that we want to celebrate and clink glasses over. But I'd like to know, did you have a background in craft making, handcraft weaving and making?
Yes, I actually did. I was born in North Borno State, and those people, the northern people in quotes, they appreciate handmade things. They appreciate crafted work like raffia bags and all that, rattan bags and all that. So in the class, in the school, it was mandatory we know how to crochet.
Really?
Oh yes, it was like in just so that like, okay, everybody, both male and female, go and make a table mat and all that.
Really?
Yes. So that was how I started. I went, the time I was given the assignment to do.
Because crochets were usually made for, used to make sweaters, tablecloth, you know.
Majorly tablecloth. And in the north, it was something like if someone gets married, they'll use that tablecloth, like make a lot of it to decorate the parlor, like the sofa and all that, just as a headrest.
On the headrest.
Yeah, yes, exactly.
And the center table.
Exactly,
Yeah.
that was just it. There's no northern house you don't go there without saying that.
So you were just doing that then out of, shall I say, assignment
to get my marks.
And get through secondary school.
Exactly.
And then how did you perfect it later on? Coming up. You started out because you wanted to present a unique gift to your cousins, which I believe they appreciated so much when they came.
Yeah.
So how did that now lead us to this corridor of entrepreneurship?
Okay.
I heard you had to go on YouTube at some point to educate yourself, to improve and hone your skill in handcrafts.
Okay, yeah. Before then, as I said, I was someone that actually appreciated the handcraft something. It always marvels me when I see people making something so big just with a needle and thread. And I was always jealous. I never had the opportunity to learn from anyone. My mom doesn't know how to make. My mom would say she knew how to make it before, but she can't remember.
Yeah, because in their time.
Yeah, she only just tell me about her grandmother or mother do make it, but she can't. So I was a little bit upset at how do I get it. And I was so small that time. I was not exposed to social media or YouTube or anything, so I wasn't able to. So the way I learned it was as they gave me the assignment, I met a neighbor I saw around. Can you teach me? I really don't know how I learned it. Honestly speaking, I really don't know. I just started with making a string. It still marvels me the way I was able to get it. So that was how I kept on doing. I made one day a jacket for myself. I made a skirt and blouse for my younger sister, like that, as I was 10 years old that time. You were just 10 years old at that time? Yes, I remember that. And you were already making jackets for your siblings and for yourself? Yes, I was always busy with that because I was so fascinated with that. We also gathered that you are a twin. Yeah. Is your twin sister also creative, handcraft inclined? As much as we are fraternal, we are both different, honestly. Well, that's to be expected to some degrees. So now to the issue of your cousins who were to visit Nigeria and which compelled you to go out of your way to get them a unique gift. You didn't want any run-of-the-mill thing for them. And you went through all of that laborious, hard venture.
testing and retesting different yarns till you got the one that you were satisfied.
Yeah.
You must have a very good heart.
Okay, what actually gave me, like, motivated me the more to keep on was that the more I keep on testing or trying different new designs, I developed new ones too.
Okay.
The funny thing was that that particular design I saw online, I didn't actually give it to them later. I saw a better one. I was able to create a better design.
So the more you explored, the better designs and
came up.
ideas that were coming to you. And as you were unraveling new ideas, you were excited. It's like you were feeling like some Christopher Columbus who discovered America.
When I was doing it, everyone in the house was like, what's this girl doing? Like, they didn't understand how I'm trying to make a sound. Like, okay, as usual, goodness comes.
As usual, goodness has started another venture.
Another one again. So it was...
And they let you be.
They let me be, though. My mom was like, that time I just preparing to go to the university, and they were like, you have to read your medical books well, because I was entry to direct entry. I've done my A-levels already, so they say you have to be so prepared to learn well, like, so that you can, like, there was this that came up that said you should read the 71st pages of Kidsmore, a very big gigantic textbook. So my mom was like, go and read that.
She was more
book.
concerned about your academics.
Your book, goodness, leave this and all that. But I was actually, I derived
you
pleasure
followed your
with
creative
that.
passion.
I loved that a lot. Like,
and you know, you started out because you wanted to present a unique gift to your cousins, which I believe they appreciated so much when they came.
Yeah.
So how did that now lead us to this corridor of entrepreneurship?
Okay, this is what happened.
Yeah.
I had no idea on shoemaking. The first time, immediately I was able to get the material, knitted it. I met this old man, a shoemaker close to my house. I met him that, okay, this is what I showed him the picture. This is what I really need you to do for me. Couple it once and for all for me. I need to see how it will come out. And he was like, I can't do it for you. You have to do it yourself. So he just gave me, he was kind enough, and he just gave me the materials I should go to the market to buy. And he just listed them for me, Marco soles and all that. So I went to the market. You
went to the market again?
I went to look
this
for
guy,
it.
you must like trouble.
I brought it down to him. I said, see it. Now say, okay, start doing it yourself. I was now cutting.
So he was putting you through?
Yeah, and he was so amazed that I was able to get it very fast. And I was able to just do the slight ones I could do, and anything that had to do with me going to the machines, all those industrial machines, he leave me out of it, and you go and do it.
The old Baba will do that for you.
Yes. So that was how we did it, and it came out okay to some extent. It wasn't really so good at all.
Yeah,
if you see the picture of it, it wasn't really so good, but everyone was like, they just loved the crocheted thing there. Yeah. It was so unique.
It's unique, actually.
Not concerned whether it was so neat. They just loved the way it presented. So
they were not particular about the finishing. They were more particular about the creativity.
So as I went back home, I looked at things. Everybody was like, it was good and okay, but I was like, this was not what I really wanted. Still not satisfied. It was not what I wanted. So I don't know how the next idea came up again. I was able to get something close to what I saw on net, but not exactly the same thing. Some people say it was finer than what I saw on net, honestly. So I went back.
To you, it wasn't as fine.
To me, I don't know. I don't know how to appreciate myself, so I just let it be that way. So I went back to the man, gave him that old sandals I made, loosened everything. Let's make another one. So that one was much more complicated because we have to get some more materials and all that. The first one I did, I spent 4 days to do it, like just a pair. 4 days, and I was always on it. So by the time I met him, we did again another one. That one came out very nice.
In how many days?
Just in 1 day. So I went to the studio from the shop. It was so close to a studio. I went to the studio, a photo studio. I took a picture of it.
Wearing it?
No, yes, wearing it, just taking pictures of it. I was so happy with the way
you gave it a photo
out.
shoot session.
Exactly. So,
and I bet that will have inspired you to want to explore further.
Exactly. So that was how I did it. So I went online. I just posted it like, this is what I did, and everyone appreciated it. And there was someone that now said she needed it okay, I was like, no, this was not the plan at first. This was never the plan at first. How do I go about it? Because I had no idea on internet.
On how to do business.
Business or anything like that.
So when you posted it online, you just wanted to show off your creativity.
Exactly. I was happy. This is what I've done.
And then somebody knocked on your door online.
I
and
immediately
said, hey, I'd like to buy that.
Yes. So I went back to the market. I went to buy the materials. Like, shoe materials, to be honest, they're very cheap. I spent like, okay, apart from the transport that was far, I didn't spend more than 1,000 to buy. I spent like, let's say 700. So I went.
Even with the transportation inclusive?
Yes. I made it for the day.
And how many hours did it cost you to make it?
This time around, the hours was like a day. It was like a day. It was exactly a day.
And less stressful? It
was less stressful still again. Though I was not still perfect. It was not really something I was perfect.
And online brought you this fortune because it brought you your consciousness that this could be a commercial venture.
Exactly.
So you made your first profit of how much?
That was not a profit at all. Yeah, my first profit of 1.5.
1.5, which I bet also is now yielding, and it's going to lead to the millions and billions. When I spoke with you some days ago, you were expressing frustration that you get so many people bombarding you with requests, and at the end of the day, maybe half of them will buy
5 out of 20 will just buy.
You know, a quarter.
I'll get back to you.
And you were expressing to me that your desire is to take this international and make it a multi-billion-dollar concern, which, to the glory of God, and I believe very strongly, you're going to achieve. Because you've started well. And I have to tell you that going by my analysis and monitoring of your activities, you are doing well. You're not doing badly. If 20 people are knocking on your door and 5 are buying at a time, it's still a good score. But I appreciate your ambition and your aspiration. But I'm interested in finding out about your entrepreneurial journey because you're a young female doing wonderfully well academically, and you're still able to find time to do this on the side. And you're not doing it like an hobby, you're doing like a proper business. I've seen your packaging, I've seen your branding, I've seen your marketing, I've seen your sales. You've been very aggressive online, very, very aggressive. When you push online, you from secondary school, you did A-levels and then from there to medical school. So where did you obtain all these selling strategy skills from? Is it the Igbo gene that you got from your mom?
Probably. Actually, okay, back last year, I started, it was just this WhatsApp platform that I don't know what they call it, that a lot of audience are watching, like viewing the status and all that. So that was where I started. The person said, just pay this amount to be able to get a lot of, like, for adverts. So I just paid reluctantly.
Reluctantly you paid for adverts?
I just paid. I was like, that time I was selling the slippers and 1,000, something like that. So, because though I don't actually attend all this conference and entrepreneurship and all that, but I only just know that people always say that don't start with a high price.
Don't start with a high price.
At least be low profit conscious for the meantime.
Okay.
Later on, you can develop that. So that was what I did. By the time I placed the advert, the way messages were popping in, it was not funny.
The battery on your phone was complaining.
I was confused. I was like, what's going on? They were just that they needed
bombarding you with requests.
They needed it and all that. And it was UI students, of course. So that was how it started. I now sold those ones. I think within just a month, I made close to 100 sales. Just that month, and it was very, very.
In that first month of that advert.
Yes, it was. Though from referrals, I saw this and all that. My friends loved it and all that. So though it was very, very stressful and frustrating. That time we were preparing for our first MB exam. But what I always do was that I'm always time conscious. As I told you, the crocheting something, there are still some designs that would take me close to 9 hours just doing just a pair.
Yeah.
So that can be so frustrating. I'm thinking about the school. Wake up as early as 6 a.m. to prepare for school, go by 8 a.m., come back around 5 p.m., and you still see others. I'll be all...
I'm interested. Goody.
Okay.
How did you form that name? Was that your nickname at some point in life, or?
Though everyone calls most of my friends Goody Goody. They always use that word, Goody Goody. And they say, do you remember that sweet dude back there?
Yeah.
That brown with a red nylon coin and like
chocolatey.
Exactly. So I was like, okay. When I said, they were always like, okay, goody shoes, goody shoes, goody shoes. Like, I don't know why. I don't know where they have had. They always call me Goody Two Shoes. I was like, where do you guys hear this name from? Another person again, not knowing the other person, Goody Two Shoes. I was like, where do you guys hear this name from? So I was like, okay, I need to give it a name.
Yeah.
What do I give it? Goody. So I just thought about, okay, Goody. It is G-U-D-Y. So
it was G-U-D-Y initially.
Yes, even if you check my Instagram account first, 2017, it was G-U-D-Y.
But now the one I know is G-U-D-I-E.
Exactly, because
why the metamorphosis?
What made me to change was, especially as I went online on Instagram one day, and I just pressed Goody, G-U-D-Y. And the way I saw people's name popping out, like G-U-D-Y, Goody something, Goody baby, Goody.
So many brands were already
like,
on that G-U-D-Y.
It's not even brand, it's just like that. So I was like, no, I need to change it at least. So I thought about, okay, probably we just give it G-D-I-A. That's what I thought about.
And you Googled that?
I Googled that, though. Yeah, it wasn't. I only saw, I think, a politician's name abroad. That was G-U-D-I-A. I was like, what? Whatever it is.
So you recognize also that for your brand to be strong over time, you needed it to be unique. And you want me to be convinced or persuaded that you have not exposed yourself to business education at some point?
Honestly. So, apart from, I do watch these TEDx talk shows on some business too, but
okay, you watch some talk shows on business, all right?
So, but that was a reason I just started. I just thought I should, at least to some point. But honestly speaking, I've not really.
You've not really exposed yourself to business education. Maybe because you're still in medical school.
Exactly. It never gave me the time,
very intense.
And it's been like, it's not been funny at all. So
how do you manage production? Business. Because I mean, the value chain, I do recognize the branding, packaging. By the way, your packaging is lovely, you know.
I don't know how that came up. Everyone just commented that they loved it.
Who did it for you?
It was a medical doctor that did it for me.
You don't say.
Exactly.
You guys are encroaching into our territory.
Exactly. It was a medical doctor that did it for me.
The font, the color, the shade,
I told him that
mood.
I just needed, it was, okay, when I needed, I just went online that, okay, what do we give it? And I thought about it that I don't want a colorful stuff. He said I should use yellow. I said no. He said I should use pink. I was like, I don't want anything colorful. I just needed something so like unique, simple. And I just thought about it. Okay, black should go nice. It was like, it looks like a dead color. I was like, yeah, don't worry.
That's what I find intriguing about it actually. Because when you talk about gladiator sandal, it's something that has to do with ancient times.
Yeah.
And when I saw the tone, tenor, and mood that your brand character evidences, I said, okay, is someone trying to take us back to the cave period? Because, I mean, this dark shade gives a sense of you being in a cave with a lamp and just searching around, you know, like in those Moses movies.
Exactly.
You know. Coming up.
I'm a very little girl. I'm just 20.
So, as a 20-year-old lady employing much older people, you found that as a huge challenge.
Honestly speaking. What I needed was even a black, just this paperback with just a silver inscription there on it. but I don't know, it just came out to be that way. He laminated it for me, like it's more like a laminated bag like that, with white goodie and all that. I was like, well,
And it became a goodie bag.
exactly.
So everybody is looking for goodie bags. But
Exactly.
this is a goodie brand that is described on the bag, and we have a goodie bag.
And everyone always, anytime they say, they always tell me that I want to buy this because of this bag. I'm like, what do you want to use this for? I just love the way the bag is.
Wow.
Forgetting that, okay, design of shoes is unique, but still, this bag is really so nice. Anytime they think about buying a gift for a friend, they always like, make sure that bag is there. I need that bag. They bring it like in a very bold font. I need that bag.
Oh, when they're making the order,
yes,
they will put in bold font that. Don't just send me the
like, this is the major reason, like it's needed. There was a friend last week that was telling me that, okay, she was part of the people I sold out to first, and so she has used the shoe. She also knew that she has used it so well, like that she stepped on water with it and all that, and so it wasn't looking good at all because of the leather part, but not the crocheted part.
Yeah.
That one can never spoil at all. It's permanent.
The yarn is permanent.
Yes, it's there. So, and she told me that, but still, why are you giving me this shoe? You didn't bring the bag. You didn't give me the bag at first, so I need this bag this time.
She had bought long ago.
Make sure you bring this bag for me. I was like, okay. And she was saying that I saw a friend at University of Ibadan, that's UI, with the bag, just going along, like moving around. She went for lectures with it. I was like, are you serious? I expected to be disposed immediately. She was like, this guy is always using everywhere she goes. I was like, wow.
So I'm right that you got it right with your branding, with your packaging. You got it very, very right with it. Yeah, maybe instinct at work, maybe genetics at work, maybe socialization of some subtle, below the skin, subconscious, subliminal, social acculturation thing along business lines working. Whatever it is working for you. So on that chain, I know you've gotten it right from the selling aspect, because I monitored you, like I said. You got it right with the branding, with the packaging. What about the production end? You are a very busy medical student. How do you handle production? And you are bombarded regularly. Because
yes.
I watch your thread online, and I see the way comments keep pouring in, requests. And I was wondering, if this is happening, what could be happening at the DM end? Until when I spoke with you and you confirmed to me that the DM end is also equally busy.
Yeah.
So how do you handle production?
Production, when I started, at first I was doing everything myself.
Yeah.
I'll go to the shoemaker shop, couple everything. There was a day I had up to 20 orders, and I gave them a week. So that was how I was just doing. Like, it was not fun. And sometimes I would leave the shop around 9 p.m. and I'm a medical student. I'm meant to read and all that.
Yeah.
And I would still crochet. And I told you that sometimes some design I can spend 9 hours on it. That was when I started. I was not that fast, but now I'm so fast. Like, it's like the cerebellum. I've really gotten acquainted to
Practice
like,
makes perfect.
exactly. So that was how I was doing it, until I realized that no, this workload is too much. And besides, I think I'm not still that perfect in making it like that. Let me just give it to someone that will do it well for me. So I give to someone. I'll just crochet, bring it.
Did you employ the person?
Yeah, I'll crochet, bring it to the person, and say this is I'll just write the sizes I need, and the color specs and everything.
And
so by the time the person is done, I'll take it, I'll go back to my room to couple everything with gum again. I was like, that was another thing entirely again. I was like, this is taking my time still. I'll be looking at the time. I'm time conscious.
Yeah.
I've not read my book. I'll see my colleagues reading. I'm like, I'm still busy with this. Like, what the hell is that? So by that went on, I now thought about, no. A friend now saw me and was like, how do you cope with this? I was like, it's not funny. So he said, okay, he will like refer me to someone again that could help me, is trustworthy and all that. So by the time I met the person said, okay, he could help me out to do it. So I said, okay, this is what we should be doing. I'll bring
help
the
you out,
to
just helping, or
couple
as an employee or as a partner?
As an employee.
Okay.
So the person will be coupling it for me. I'll bring everything.
For a fee.
Yeah, exactly. So still again, I was not still satisfied. I'm still crocheting this again.
You weren't satisfied with the output?
Yeah, I was like, not from his own side, from my own side,
Okay.
like generally. And I thought about, okay, I need someone else to crochet this for me. So someone referred me to a woman that is less busy, that sells thrift clothing. So I met her and she said she can't crochet, that she'll help me out and all that. Okay, so that was what I did. I'll just pack the threads for her, drop it with her, crochet this is what I need, this color and all that.
You're now understanding the rudiments of what entrepreneurship really is like.
Yeah.
It's about creating an organization behind an idea. You got this idea, which resonated with a lot of people, and people caught on with it, and it was gaining traction. So you were forced to go from being a creative soul who was just exploring her creative side to begin to think organization.
Yeah.
Now you're employing people, you're outsourcing to people for commissions, for a fee, and that way you're able to take some matters off yourself. So in a way, you have a team now.
Yes.
On which you are working on this idea, right?
Yeah.
And the production side is being efficiently taken care of now, I want to assume.
To some extent.
To some extent. Tell me the extent that is not.
It's a very, very big challenge for me at the moment now, because I'm a very little girl. I'm just 20.
Yeah, that's
And
another
those
thing that fascinated me, because to let you know, I studied your page very well, and I found out along the line that you marked your 20th birthday just some months back. So as a 20-year-old lady employing much older people, you found that as a huge challenge.
Honestly speaking.
I want to assume directing and
all that, like, what's this girl talking? And I'm kind of in quotes trying to respect them, like, forget the fact that they are working under me, but still I should have this respect. So I find it difficult to be bold enough to say, this is what I really need, do this for me. And some of them are like, you're disrespecting me, forget that, I'm working under you, I need a job, but this is like, you can't just be talking to me this way and all that. And sometimes they think like, this is my little stature for kind of, she's small, she won't notice, or she has no insight on all that. So sometimes I'll give money, buy these materials and all that. I won't get the materials done, but they're like, this happened, all that happened, giving me stories that don't even make sense. And I'm like, this is not an excuse. The other one, I was like, okay, help me, I need this within this time. I'm like, okay, and my son has been sick, this has been happening and all that. Like, but they're like, please, I'm married, I have children to cater for, so you shouldn't be talking about this, that you are still young, so you have time to do all that.
So you're thinking to yourself now that a huge chunk of the challenges you face in this endeavor comes from you having to work with grown-ups, you know, who feel culturally, I can't take orders from you. Yeah, I need this job, I need the money that's coming from it. And you think it's because of your age?
Honestly, I think sometimes, and probably because I'm a little bit I'm so lenient probably.
Maybe because you're
it's still
lenient.
because I'm trying to keep this respect sometimes, because sometimes anytime I hear I was like, no, I don't feel okay.
Now, can I tell you something? I'm over 50, right? And I am privileged to run a business and also head some positions in organizations. And I have this same experience you're having from people. So I'm not saying that age is not a factor, because we're in a very culturally deep society. But I want you to know that it's the general slothfulness that the society evidences. A lot of people have poor work ethics in our society.
Yes, exactly.
There are people I'm older than, but when they give me outputs that are slothful, you know. So you're going to have to, first of all, work on your mind, you know, to ensure that you let your mind accept that, look, I'm now an entrepreneur. And my age doesn't matter in this regard now because I have a team member and I'm the leader of the team. But that's what you are, So you will now be able to explore, to identify people you need to display. It's going to be a case of continuous shuffling, dropping and exploring and getting people and changing, your hands until you have a team that is perfect.
Yeah.
You're going to have to move far before you get a team, because to achieve that, your multi-billion-dollar organization, it's a journey that's going to require you hurting some people sometimes and getting, you're going to have to draw a wall, not just a line, between your personal life and your business life.
Yes,
Your business life is, you will be nice to people on a personal level, but when you're doing business, my role as the leader of this team, if it requires that I have to be a witch sometimes, then I just have to be a witch. So it's not because you're young in that sense like that, because I experienced it, and I can tell you there are 70-year-olds who also experience people with slothful work ethics, but more because maybe you are too considerate and too lenient sometimes. On that side, you're going to have to work hard, rather than allow them to discourage you to run back into your tunnel.
Yes.
Now, let's look at your accounting. You're making money. Don't worry, you're an Igbo. Your mom is Igbo, and I know Igbo man will not disclose anyhow how this thing is in the pocket. It is Yoruba people that tend to flex and flamsy around. So I can understand. I'm not going to ask you how much you're worth or how much your business is worth. No, I'm not going to ask that. But you're making money. I mean, going by the activities from around your business. How are you doing your accounting, cash flow things? How are you conducting it?
Actually, there's someone else again that actually holds the business account, because there's a point, we girls, there's this kind of thing. When we see money coming in, we remember that we have to change that wardrobe. We have to change this, we have to do that. And we don't even care whether it's from the business money or not.
I can imagine.
So I had to give it to someone else to help me out with business account. I was like, see, take care of this for this moment, because this is what, sometimes when I look at the spending I've done for a month, and I'm like,
so you track your expenses.
I've spent more than, let's say, close to 80,000 just on my personal life, and it's not even close to a month, just within 2 weeks. I'm like, no, this is from business money. So that was hard to be like, this person, just take charge of it. I'll send you the profit I'm to make from this business, send it back to you. Why the ones for me, I've removed money for the packaging and all that, and the transport and materials and all that is still with me. I know how to deal with that. So that's how I kept on doing that. And
it's been working for you?
It's been working fine for me.
Working fine for you. I like the way you qualified it. So you reckon that there's going to come a time when you're going to have to go very, very professional by adopting some bookkeeping templates? Do you have such plans?
I have such plans.
So when and how do you intend to execute that?
I've not sat down one day to think about it, but that's a plan for the meantime. I have such plans for that.
Maybe after your exams, you'll be able to sit down.
Exactly.
Because the academic work is really tearing and pulling.
Actually, as of last year, I planned of this year, but there were some health issues that came by the way. I had to take I was on admission for a very long time in hospital, so it disrupted everything in the business for that moment. So the plan is not for next year.
Thank God you're now fine and back in shape and back on the beat. We run into turbulence. Life happens, but it's not going to overwhelm or consume us. That's what the Lord promised us. Coming up. Repeat purchase is the secret of expansive business success. So what's your strategy for keeping your customers coming back? And when it happens, we pick ourselves back up, which is what you have done. Because some people of your age, after they got out of that medical challenge, will probably just drop this whole thing and say, look, I want to play safe. But here you are, you're back in
Honestly,
the
I don't know how I started again. I really don't know. It looks kind of like no a mystery to me because I know what it means when you stop for like 4 or 5 months.
Yeah.
And to start again.
But you know what they say? Passion rules. When you have a passion, it just comes effortlessly.
That was what gave me the passion of this Twitter. My friends always say, goodness, the beggar has started again. You're now begging on Twitter again. Before I was on Instagram, but when I noticed that, I was like, the data.
I was going to ask you.
The data Instagram takes for me, like, you know, you have to keep your account very active on Instagram to get your followers, to get the number, like the audience for you, or else they'll just
move on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, and I noticed that I can't be spending 9 hours on Instagram. I don't have the money to be given. When I ask someone, okay, manage my account, 90,000 per month, I'm like, what the hell, please? Why? I was like, 90,000 per month, then you want to finish everything I'm earning the world.
The Igbo man rose up again.
I was like, no. So I just like, okay, people like try Twitter. I was like, I opened an account for Twitter like last year, May, and I don't think it's working. So I ignored it. I said, let me go back to Instagram. And it was not working. And I'm a very shy person that time, like to go and meet. I won't say I'm proud, but I can't just, it was so weird for me to go from one room to another room in the hostel. I sell this and all that. And besides, I noticed that UI students, you know, like, probably because of the audience of people I meet, most of them tend to price down my things.
When you go face to face, one on one.
Exactly, and I was like, no, I can't. I really can't. So people like go online, Instagram, rich people are there. They will buy this, or go on Twitter, rich people are there, richer people are there. So I was like, okay. So I went on Twitter. I resumed back the account, and I was like, there was this thing, this Ojewake, that South African something, and I put it on. I was like, I've not made sales for the past how many months since I was discharged from the hospital. Even after I was discharged, I didn't make. I was like, nobody was coming. I was like, what is this? It's like the flow has been cut off.
Yeah, because you cut it off during that period.
Exactly, and so that was how just retweeting, and though I was not able to make sales from there because South African audience more. But still, it tends to improve.
Have you had people making purchases from the international markets?
Yeah. I've seen the one of Cameroon, Ghana, and Tanzania.
So you're already on your way to your...
And London, yeah.
And
London.
From UK?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was how I kept on. That was why you see I was so like forcefully intense, like please buy this.
And it got my attention. And to be honest with you, selling is not for shy people. Selling is not for people who are self-conscious. So you being so intense for me is a plus to your character, and it's something that I want to applaud personally. And it's not something you need to apologize for.
Because my friends like, goodness, I've come back. And they'll be like, goodness, people would think you're living under the bridge. That see what you have. You have all this, your parents have money, all this and all that. I was like, please, let me just, because I have a purpose, like I have an aim that I really
you have a goal.
Because it's
they
not
don't
like,
understand.
They're like, you want to make money, and your parents like begging you. So I'm like, see, the money they're sending to me is okay, but still.
Your friends can't see what you're saying. You see, you have a goal, you have a purpose, you have a target. And that's what's driving you.
Exactly.
It's consumed you and it's driving you. So it's not about money for upkeep.
Exactly.
It's about the targets,
it's
the
just
volume of sale you want to make.
Exactly.
And if you're not meeting that sales target, then you've got to keep yourself on your toes. And I think that's what entrepreneurs who are serious, who are serious-minded, that's what they do. They're consumed by their targets. You set your sales target. I have an entrepreneur friend who had a target of X volume of sales that he wanted to make in 18 months. By the 7th month, he had exceeded that target. So what he did was to triple. So you don't have to apologize. That's what I'm trying to say for being that way, because what's driving you vis-a-vis what you're doing, all of that is in order, you know. Now you've gone international by way of recruiting customers.
Yeah.
Do you have a strategy for keeping your customers coming back? Because repeat purchase is the secret of expansive business success. So what's your strategy for keeping your customers coming back?
Okay. Though one of them was that to bring up new designs again different from what they have, like they have seen before. So that's what I plan on still doing.
To remain fresh.
Exactly, because at the moment now, I'm not in kind of like my health conditions at the moment, so designs are not coming out for me. Like all those pictures you're seeing, I've taken them for like a year ago.
Really?
It's been long.
So what we are even applauding is historical goodness
till
design.
now, I still think about like how did I get this design? How come? And it's not really so easy to bring up a design that and I don't want to go online to copy and all that.
Because you still want to remain unique and
exactly. Fresh. Though there's some people that have started. I remember when I started selling, I was just on Facebook, and a friend, I just told her that I saw also crocheting shoes and sneakers more especially, and I was like, wow, I also do the same. And she asked me, what do I use? I told her, yes, I use twine. Meanwhile, she used yarn, the 4-ply baby wool.
Okay.
So I told her I used twine shoemaker thread, and she was like, seriously? So she went and started with that, and it came out okay.
But are you thinking of outsourcing designs as well? Or you want to remain...
No, I want to be mediocre. No, I plan on, of course.
Okay.
I'm still, and...
Because of your involvement in school now, naturally your mind would be closed. Because you want to focus on passing your exams and also being a successful medical student. And you need to keep the business, the conveyor belts of the business going.
Exactly.
So if new fresh design will be an hindrance, perhaps there's a reason for you to begin to look for designers out there that you could outsource your designs to.
Yeah. I'm thinking of that still, but meanwhile, I'm just being patient enough to know what comes up next.
Patient to know what comes up next.
Exactly.
Well, we'll take a break, and then when we come back, we'll go into our final moments and find out who Goodness Adeosun is as a person.
All right.
Don't you go anywhere. You're welcome back, and we're still engaging with Goodness Adeosun, a very young medical student, but doing very well in the entrepreneurial scene. Today we're hosting her to find out what her entrepreneurial journey has been like, and the story has been quite interesting, quite enlivening, quite inspiring, quite motivating, and educative as well, I must add. Goodness, if I have a crystal ball to dissect your personality, what will I find there?
Okay. Goodness. Okay. I tend to be someone that actually, as I said, I love creative activities. I really hate talking about that. People, like I'm talented. People always say I am.
People will say what?
I'm talented person, like always pushing more to learn more things, and also this personal game. I actually play instruments, about 3 instruments.
Really?
Keyboard, violin, and the guitar.
Keyboard, violin, and guitar. You play those instruments?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Well, that's by the way, I really don't do that. Now, business, I'm really taking over.
Because of school and business.
Again. Yeah.
But before business came in, and before medical school came in, you were active with violin, guitar,
I once
keyboards.
had a music school. That was in UI. But I stopped for a while.
Yeah, someday you're still going to have the opportunity to explore your creative side.
Yeah, so I was always someone that any new thing I see, like I always want to learn, I always want to be part of it. So I always go online, check YouTube to do. Even when I was growing up, my parents always knew me to be someone that spoil things on. Like I always want to spoil, checking, so inquisitive to know what's really
spoil so that you
dark
can
inside.
repent.
Like, exactly. So I was someone that is so inquisitive for things, like, and also very initiative. My parents also say that, yeah, I'm kind of very shy in a kind of way. That, but it's this business that a little bit took that away from me. I kind of had this kind of phlegmatic a little bit, but it's like I'm becoming a little bit sanguine.
So you've realized that for your business to thrive the way you want it to, your phlegmatic nature will not be so suitable.
Yeah.
So you are beginning to embrace sanguine.
Even
gradually.
still a little bit. I was telling someone yesterday, one of my customers owed me, and I was like, I don't know how to ask that you are owing me. This is the money. I was like, it took time before I was able to get the money. I just let me text. The emojis I put, please sir, you're owing me this. I know you're forgetting, but please, you're owing me. I'm not meant to do that. I was like, what is this?
Maybe we're going to have to ask the companies to design emojis with which you can bombard your creditors. No, seriously, because I mean something's got to work, because you have to get your revenue to keep your business going. That's the oxygen of business.
Yeah.
So did you get the money eventually?
I got it. The person felt bad.
So the emoji worked.
Yeah. So that was it. And still,
But you know, most of us, if not everybody, is said to have two temperaments.
yeah.
One is just usually dominant.
Yeah, one is just a little percentage of it and all that.
Yeah.
So, but I'm more of the sanguine type.
You're more of a
And,
sanguine type.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Now let's look at, scale, because that's what helps business to expand and to also be exponentially successful. What are your plans going into the future? I mean, I'm talking of the immediate future now, the next 2, 3, 5 years, by way of how you scale up the business. It's still a mono product.
Yes. So.
Do you have plans on diversifying?
Yeah, I really do. Actually, I do make crocheted belts, headband,
Really?
bracelets, but I hardly advertise. Most
Those
of
are
those
not,
things,
I don't know about those ones.
most times I just use it as a gift to give to people and something.
Okay.
But I still plan of going into clothing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm still with slippers, sandals, slip-flops and all that. But I plan on going into cover shoes, both for females and males. But meanwhile, for the meantime, I know that would take a lot from me, full attention and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So, medical school may not allow me to at the moment now.
Agreed.
So I'm still trying to, gradually, I'm still on it. I plan of like this year I should, but still, because all those things need a very good material, and I can't be sending someone, get this from them, they may not get what I need.
You've got a brand now.
I think I have to go travel myself, check out on those things and all that. So for the meantime, I'm just waiting. Let me a little bit.
You don't want to juggle too many balls at the same time. That's understandable.
And I'm still trying to get a unique design, still more that could be a little bit unique more.
That's
I'll
wisdom.
be able to make more sales with, just like the sandals and the slippers.
That's
For
wisdom.
the time. Because in the market, a lot of people are still making shoes and all that.
Oh,
and
sure.
I still want to initiate that crocheting, even in still in the male shoe, which I'm still trying my best.
For male shoe.
Yes. And in a way that it will be so unique, simple, in a kind of like have this masculine design way that it won't be looking like girlish and all
It won't be feminine.
Exactly. So that's where I'm still thinking.
So that's your immediate target now.
Exactly.
I can't wait.
I can't wait, because it seems males tend to patronize more. Like and buy the thing.
And they don't price the way.
Exactly. Females price. The ego in male will not allow them to price, especially when they're buying from a female.
Maybe more like males tend to take life easy. For women, business negotiation is like a warfare.
Exactly.
You know, it's not because they don't have the money or because they are stingy. No, they're not. When I was much younger, a toddler, I used to hate going to the market with my mom because we would go around and around just because of 5 kobo. You know, and I look at her, she would dash people money in the market. Even before we leave the market, she would dash people more money. But the tug of war.
They just hate being felt like they have been cheated.
And as young as I was, I something dropped in my spirit then that for women, this thing is just more about warfare. You know, it's about tug of war, not being stingy. Yeah, it's a good strategic idea that is evolving and playing out in your head. And I want you to know that besides the money you're making, you're also getting quality business education. You're also getting quality personal growth from this experience, this exploration, this adventure, because it's really an adventure. This venture that you're prospecting is an adventure that has put a lot in you that money can't buy. Yeah, you said you haven't been to business school. You don't have to, you know, for now. But what you're doing is actually a business school, experiencing business practices and activities in real time. Goodness Adeosun. Thank you so very much for agreeing to be on the program to share your story with us and with our viewers.
Thank you very much.
We can only wish you best of luck.
Thank you.
And the rosy picture of the future that you have painted for us, the good Lord will help you to achieve that aspiration.
Amen.
And the future is looking so bright for me that on your next birthday, I promise to buy you a sunshade. Kiddos.
Thank you.
Congratulations. You can join us when the first billions roll in and we're going to throw a red carpet party. Goodie, G-U-D-I-E, designs, where we have to celebrate on the red carpet. That day is just round the bend, just round the corner. I will be inviting all and sundry to be at the black tie event, I want to say. Well, viewers, I've thoroughly enjoyed myself and I believe it's been the same from your end. Until next time, I want to say have a good time and bye.